In a world of high-speed Mark 18, SCARs, and other Western guns, I thought it'd be fun for my next airsoft purchase to go a little bit more Eastern Bloc. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the LCT AK-74U and talking about my first impressions of this rifle after a couple of skirmishes with it and kind of giving my overall opinion so far on the platform. What's up guys, my name is Lane and welcome back to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsofting field through our educational airsofting content. And if you enjoy videos like these, well, I'd love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it for updates when we post brand new videos here on the channel every single Friday. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I haven't had the best luck with AKs in the past. I used to own an E&L. It was hot garbage, to be polite about it, and I really wasn't happy about it, and it kind of delayed my Russian kit and everything I wanted to do with AKs. So this Memorial Day, I did have the opportunity to pick up an LCT AK-74U at a really good price on one of the Memorial Day sales I was running. So, you know, I had to take the opportunity while it was there. I wanted to get back into using an AK for a while. I'm a real big fan of the aesthetic of the platform, and I have some really fun and exciting plans for this build. So how do I feel about LCT? I've always felt that LCT makes really great externals just from being able to hold, you know, my friends' guns and things like that. However, I've never really had the opportunity to use one before, so going into it, I was admittedly kind of in the dark. AKs are kind of in this weird place, in my opinion, where there isn't too much with them going on. Like, I remember the last big thing with AKs was E&L, and if that's the last big thing, from my personal experience, I was very disappointed with E&L. You probably I know a lot of people who have had different experiences than I have with E&L, but I digress. I've always felt like the AK part of the market is like a couple years behind where M4s are, which is a real shame because, you know, the V3 gearbox is a good design. There just isn't as much support for it as the V2 because everyone and their mother owns an M4 now. So anyways, I went into buying this gun in the dark about how it would shoot. Now, I did take this out to my favorite field, River City Airsoft, and one thing I immediately have to complain about this gun, I'm sick of guns that shoot 400 FPS out of the box. It seems like that was like the thing of like the early like 2010s era, where like, yeah, man, we need to push all of our guns to be 400 FPS because that means that they shoot farther, right? Well, not really. My Mark 18 that shoots 1 joule goes just as far as this gun, which shoots over 400 FPS. So I'm real sick of that, especially in a short gun like this. I want to be able to get up close and personal, and in a lot of fields where you shoot over 400, you're essentially a DMR. So I had like a 25-foot minimum with this, which isn't bad. However, I know other fields where it's significantly worse if you're over 400 FPS. So that's one of my biggest gripes right out of the box. I know with a lot of these companies, you know, like the three main AK companies, you know, SIMA, LCT, E&L, they all shoot really hot FPS, and that's really a shame. However, this is a topic for a different video. Let's stay on track about LCT. I really like how this gun shoots. The hop-up in this is great. I was using Crytek .28 BBs, and I had a really successful time with this. Hopefully you can see it in the gameplay, because there's obviously nowhere to mount a scope cam, so it's a little bit different than the typical gameplay that I put into my videos. That's something I'll have to change and buy a rail. However, I was really happy with the performance out of the box from this gun, and I have to say it was a pretty good deal. I think this gun retails for right around 280 to 290 American, at least where I bought it. I bought it from Airsoft Megastore. However, they're not affiliated with this video in any sort of way, but there are a couple of LCT distributors here in the US. There is Evike, Airsoft GI, I think Fox Airsoft, Megastore, and then Airsoft Station. There's probably a couple more that I just can't think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you're international and you don't live in the US like I do, there are plenty of places to pick up LCT outside of the United States. Now, the external quality is where I think this gun really shines. Now, one of my biggest complaints with the E&L, however, it is kind of cool, so it's kind of a double-edged sword, is that because they use blued steel, it can rust. Now, that's something that I've come to expect as a firearm owner. However, I didn't want to deal with that as an airsoft gun owner. So I really like that they didn't do that on the LCT, as neat as it is on the E&L. However, the external quality of this gun is absolutely fantastic. This is probably the best feeling airsoft gun out of the box that I have ever experienced in my time playing in this hobby. Just the steel and the wood, they all feel really, really good. And that's one of those things that I've always noticed is kind of meh on airsoft AKs is the wood that they use for the handguard. I've always had a joke that they just cut up the pallets that the guns come on to use the wood off those. However, everything on this gun just feels so solid. There's no wobble or anything like that. The only real wobble noise that I hear is occasionally the sling swivel on the stock. However, everything just feels so nice on this gun. Everything has a real positive click and things like that. The stock does not move whatsoever. The fire selector is kind of hard to do, which is a good thing for me personally. But I really, really like this airsoft gun out of the box. It does come with a mid-cap magazine. Now, as someone who predominantly uses mid-cap magazines, that's actually something that I don't like. I wish that all airsoft guns came with a high cap, because if you don't have mags for the gun, because if you just spent $300 on the gun, you're probably not going to have too much money for a bunch of mid-caps. So I've always been a huge fan of using, or of including high caps in with any airsoft gun out there. Magazines are one thing I do want to talk about with this gun, though, before I forget. This gun's picky. I've had some pretty mixed results trying to use different mid-caps, different high caps out there. When I do a full review of this gun, I'll do a little bit more into magazine compatibility. However, for a little bit of reference right off of the bat, the included mag works with it. That's really, really nice, considering that that didn't work with my E&L when it came. The mag with that didn't work at all. My GMP metal mags do not fit in this whatsoever. I'm going to try taking a Dremel to the sides and report on that later in my next review. My GMP 545 mag doesn't fit. My LCT mag fits in here, however, doesn't fit, or my E&L mag, excuse me, fits but doesn't feed. So I've had some pretty mixed results with these. So if you own an LCT, especially like a 545 model, make sure to let me know down in the comments below what type of magazines that you like to run in yours and what works. I'm going to pick up a bunch of different magazines and do some compatibility testing for this gun. I might make a full video out of it. Who knows? But overall, my impressions after putting about 1,000 to 1,500 rounds, no, probably about 1,000 to 2,000 rounds out of this. As a first impression, I think this is a really, really well-built airsoft gun. LCT makes phenomenal externals, and if you've never had a chance to handle one, it's like a much heavier VFC, to put it that way. I mean, for this gun being as small as it is, I can actually fit it in the frame of one of my videos. I think this weighs more than my Mark 18, and my Mark 18 is considerably longer. But overall, I mean, I'm really happy with this gun. I'm not sure if it's just how it's molded, but the bakelite, or like the fake bakelite, whatever they call the pistol grip, I know a bunch of you Slav boos in the comments are going to be roasting me right now. It looks pretty beat up. It doesn't feel like it, so if that's just a part of how it should be, make sure to let me know down in the comments so I don't feel like an idiot. But I really do like this airsoft gun. If you have the opportunity to get one, especially on a sale, because LCT doesn't do map pricing, which is pretty cool, you can get these for pretty good deals. I mean, on Memorial Day from Airsoft Megastore, I paid $230 and some change. So I was really happy with this airsoft gun, especially for the price point that I got it. For those of you who are curious what I'm going to be doing with this airsoft gun, I've got a pretty extensive build that I plan on doing with this. I plan on, throwing on a rail on the side rail. I want to change out the stock. I just can't convince myself to buy a $200 PT1 stock at the moment. I'm going to throw some Zenetco up front so I can run a scope cam, all that nonsense, get rid of the orange flash hider because I'm allowed to do that in the United States, and then, figure out mid-caps that work with this gun. But overall, guys, I am a real big fan of this gun. It does have some magazine compatibility issues. However, I'm going to do a little bit more testing on that and report back to you guys. But that's going to do it for today's video. I want to know how many of you guys own M4s. When I did my gun collection video a month or two ago, I noticed I didn't own anything that really wasn't out of the ordinary, except for maybe like my Knights PDW. So I was like, you know what? I need an AK. I own way too much rushing kit to not own an AK anymore. So I'm really happy with this. It's for a very specific impression build that I am working on, which you guys will see in the future once it gets to be, less farb. But, if you own an AK, sound off down in the comments what type of magazines work with your airsoft AK. Make sure to let me know and all of that fun stuff. Excuse me. But if this was your first time here, I would absolutely love it if you joined our community by that subscribe button down below, and make sure to hit that bell icon next to it so that you get updated when I post a brand new video here on the channel every single Friday. I really like the schedule that we're doing right now. It gives you enough free time to kind of, do personal stuff, as well as maintaining my little BB Wars addiction. But anyways, guys, make sure to follow me on social media. Links are down in the description below. This has been Lane from the BB Warrior talking about my first impressions with the LCT AK-74U, and I will see you all next time.